Well, my current position is assistant professor. I work as an assistant professor in the University of Amsterdam Business School. And I study climate change, but in a broader field of sustainability and corporate social responsibility. So my research interest is not only climate change, but it is absolutely the focus of my research. And I've been doing that for, well, quite some years now, and well, since it's become one of the topics in the world, I would even say. It is a very exciting topic to work on right now.
Excellent. And your name?
Oh, I'm very sorry.
That's okay.
Jonatan Pinske.
All right.
Or Jonatan Pinske, you can't say that in a different way.
Thank you. And so what is the principal message that you would like to convey to companies today relating to climate change?
Well, first, what I see is that to explain exactly what certain discussions are around climate change. We talk here about mitigation and adaptation. What does the one mean? What does the other mean? That people know something about the issue of climate change, but how it is impacting their company and what the two different discussions are is something that is still complicated to many. And as an academic, I feel I can kind of help others understand their own company. What I saw in some sessions is that I asked for certain things, are you doing these kind of things? And I said, hey, actually we are doing these kind of things. We just didn't use the term adaptation to climate change for it, but we do take it into account in our operations. So my role is then to help other people in business understand actually what their contribution already is or can be, because they're not always aware of that, because for them this is one of the many issues they have to deal with, and for me it is the issue I work on, so I can clarify it a little more. I mean, of course I can't help them on all the other things they're doing, but that's not my role.
So could you give us an example of adaptation as far as your definition is concerned?
Well, what adaptation basically is that you have the impact of the climate on Earth, basically. And if you have certain operations, I talk to people of an oil company, they want to develop oil wells in the Arctic region, and they're already starting to think about, okay, if you build an oil rig, it is now, there is still now a lot of ice there, but what if it warms up and you have this oil rig in a place where there is no ice? Is the foundation of the oil rig still good enough to work in such an environment? And they said they're already working on that, but they just didn't call it adaptation. But they are thinking about these scenarios like, hey, but the surface here might change in coming years. So we have to take that into account in building these things, because they have to be in operation, I don't know, for decades maybe. So those kind of things, you see that there is adaptation from a business point of view.
That's an excellent example. So what do you believe are the greatest challenges or risks for companies in the next 5 to 20 years?
Yeah, in the field of letting go of what you're used to doing. I mean, if you talk about the huge challenge of changing our energy system, which is completely reliant on fossil fuels, letting go of that and dare to invest in alternatives that are, produce less carbon or no carbon at all, that is a huge challenge. I mean, everybody, people, companies, feel safer if they can continue doing what they're used to doing, because that's what you're good at, that's how you make money, that's how you create value. But certain things in the field of climate change and sustainability ask for a change, and that is so very difficult. So I see that as the biggest challenge. And it's not always not that the technology is not there, it's just also the whole company culture that has to change. And when I talk to people at a conference like this, you feel that, especially with the younger people, that they want to have certain changes, but implementing certain things are difficult because their seniors do not always see it like that, because they've been working with a certain way of thinking for the last 25 years. So they can't look at it out of the box to the same extent.
That's very understandable. So could you offer then some suggestions for opportunities for companies in the next decades?
Ooh, that's it depends really on the type of industry what you talk about. I mean, our research now is focusing on car industries, and there you see the big car companies really put too much focus on their existing types of cars, which are too heavy, use more lightweight materials, think about maybe alternative fuels. I see many tries, but I don't see huge changes going on there. Same with the electricity companies. I mean, in many parts of the world they've just been recently privatized, and these companies are figuring out how to become competitive companies. And in doing that, they are not using, in my view, enough of investing in new renewable energy. In my country, the Netherlands, you see that they are very good at marketing green power, but if you actually look at the figures, to what extent they also generate renewable energy or renewable electricity, it's not in line with the marketing. Practice what you preach is then basically the saying, and I think there are huge opportunities. I understand that many technologies are still difficult. I mean, I come from a very small country and we are investing in wind power, but if we fill up our country with windmills, it's not it's not a very nice sight. In few places, yes. So maybe more solar, integrate that in buildings. I think there are huge opportunities there. I just bought a house myself and it's not integrated, so I now, if I want to, I have to make huge investment to do that. Well, if the construction company would have taken it from the start and it was part of the deal, I mean, people take out a mortgage and just accept that it's part of the whole price. So then it's not like, I have to invest $20,000 extra. It's just, this is part of the house. And those kind of things could really help make a change. And then people are, of course it's new technology, but new technology is also fancy gadgets. People love it to have something like that. Market it in a different way. Make it something that is exciting instead of have to change or it might not be reliable and things like that.
It's a good point.
So that's how I see it. It's more behavioral change, but I think companies can lead the way there by facilitate consumers making different choices.
Excellent, thank you. So is there a final message you would like to leave us with today regarding climate change and adapting to climate change?
Well, that I think the adaptation to climate change is a completely new discussion which policymakers only recently really talk about. It's known for a longer time that we have to deal with it, but they haven't been doing that much. And for business it's even further away the next step. And my main message is don't just look at adaptation to climate change like, okay, I can preserve my own company in this way, but also how it has a broader impact in terms of sustainability. Am I helping local communities now also better deal with changes in the climate? So not that I'm still able to drill oil out of the ground, but also that I facilitate local communities to continue living in certain places. See it as part of a broader agenda of sustainability, which is not only an environmental dimension, but also a social dimension, because adaptation is a lot about the social dimension actually. Making possible for people to either continue living or be able to still survive in an environment that is not as friendly as it used to be due to extreme weather events, drought, floodings, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.